and welcome back to the Paws podcast, episode 34. We are very excited to have on we'll go with a women's soccer episode here. We haven't done this. I don't think we've ever had a women's soccer episode. We've obviously mentioned it because of the great start they're off to, but we're bringing in one of the key players here, Anna Rockett. Anna, thank you for hopping on. We're very excited to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
And let's just get it right going. Obviously your dad played soccer, your mom played field hockey. Just kind of at what point did you kind of feel like soccer was kind of your passion and that's what you wanted to get into during college and hopefully pro one day?
I think I knew from a pretty young age, like both my parents played sports in college. My brother plays a sport in college as well. So we were just very, very athletic growing up and everything was a competition as far as like anything we were doing. And I wanted to be just like my dad. I love soccer. So I stuck with that. It was the only sport that I was better than my brother at. So it gave me a little bit of confidence. He was good at everything. And I was like, okay, this is my thing. Like, I'm going to stick with it. And yeah, I love it. I love it so much.
You're originally from Cary, North Carolina. Just what was it like for you getting used to a different environment? Obviously, you went to LSU. That's in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And then going to Miami after coming over here and joining FIU.
I clearly love the warm weather. But yeah, like I knew I wanted to go away somewhere for college because I love my family. But I just wanted to go have my own experience somewhere different. And I think what I got in Louisiana and what I'm getting in Miami is just two completely different cultures than what I'm used to, like growing up in North Carolina and Cary. So I've enjoyed both of my experiences so much.
And obviously, you spent time at LSU for your first 4 years now at FIU. Talk a little about the difference between Louisiana and now at FIU for your college experience, and obviously, the scenery as well. SEC and obviously now in a new conference.
Yeah, I think as far as scenery, like the campus here is like a resort. The palm trees, the beaches. I feel like there's more to do just around the campus in Miami. In LSU, it was just LSU. Everything revolved around Louisiana State University. Like that was it. I feel like at FIU, there's just so many more things to do. So many different avenues, so many different like things to do on the weekends. So I think both of them were great, but I'm enjoying my experience here.
So, take us through the process of the transfer portal, Anna. When you ultimately decided to leave LSU, after looking through all the options, what made FIU just the premier destination to go to?
When I was looking to transfer, there were some key things that I was like, okay, like these are the four, or just, I don't even know how many it was, but like style of play, I wanted possession style of play. I wanted a program that the players were invested, the coaches were invested. I wanted a program that was building, like not fully established, like hasn't reached the full potential, but was still in the process of reaching the peak. And then education, I wanted the shortest possible, like a 1 year master's of business, which is exactly what I have here at FIU. And then you can't really beat a place like Miami to be in college. But yeah, I think in my process, I just really prayed a lot about it and was just like, God, like show me where you want me to be. And this is the place that really stood out to me. And yeah, no regrets. I love it here.
And you kind of bring that, the veteran-esque, from LSU to FIU, and obviously an experienced player with the Tigers, now at FIU. Really a team, it's collectively a mixed group, but really can say a lot of the younger players on the squad. Talk a little bit about your leadership and how much you brought so far in your first year with FIU.
Yeah, I think being an older player, being around so many young, talented players throughout my year here, it's just so great to see like their love for the game and how talented they are. And then just the whole team's progress from January when I got here to now, it was just everyone every single day giving everything they had, whether it's in film, in practice, in games, after practices and games, like people will be texting each other like, hey, like let's go over film in my room. So it's just everyone continuously wanting to learn, because once you get to college, like the learning doesn't stop. And even me as a grad student in my 5th year playing, I'm still learning so much about the game, and I'm learning from younger players. Younger players are learning from me. So it's just how much can I give to the program, but also how much can I learn from this program as well. It's just, yeah, it's been a great experience.
Obviously, you mentioned kind of the style of play difference. Just talk to us a little bit about that. You're going from LSU to FIU. That kind of seems a quicker style of play for FIU. You guys kind of a lot more aggressive, trying to, keep possession as much as you can there.
Yeah, I think the SEC is just a very athletic, directional conference. And then coming to FIU, like the high press that we do at FIU, that was new for me. So in the spring, I was like, oh, like we are really stepping high. Like we're being very, very aggressive in the press so that we can win the ball and then keep it and do what we want to do, which is spread teams apart, like slip balls in, build through our lines. So it's like, it's just an exciting brand of football. When you don't have it, it's like, how fast can you win it back? And then when you get it, like, all right, let's enjoy it. Like, this is why we play. It's for the ball. Like, let's keep it. And let's play pretty soccer.
And with that, your coaching staff, Coach Garber and all, they really play an intense style of football. Talk a little about this system here at FIU and how much maybe you've contributed and maybe had success with it, obviously, with this, great start to the season.
Yeah, this season, like, every single game, we just have the mindset we want to go 1-0. It's not, let's look ahead. No, like, every single game is its own universe. It's not, we just want to focus everything we have on what's up next. So it's going over film from the last game and then moving into the next game. I think the team has just grown so much into our season. Like, we've had so many goal scorers across the entire team, from forwards, midfielders, defenders. Everyone's getting involved. Everyone's sharing the ball. So I just think how we've grown into the season and how we've learned from game to game is incredible, because we've shown that we can win by playing pretty soccer, but when we need to be direct and be directional, we can also win that way as well. So I just think being multidimensional and proving that we can be good at all brands, even though we have a set brand, but we can also win other ways if needed to be.
I guess what's kind of like that one game that you kind of feel like this season you guys played, your brand of FIU soccer. You guys got the win. It looked pretty. It was just exactly what you wanted to do.
I think the Miami game, obviously that was just a fun game to win anyway, like the rivals. But yeah, it was just a hard fought game, like high pressing, playing how we wanted to play, and Miami's a great team, so having them come to our home field and us get the win was awesome.
That was a great moment with the Nicole had to put the U down.
Yeah, Nicole was amazing. She really took that moment. So
yeah.
So, as I'm sure you heard it's been a pretty long time since this program has had a season that begun with this much success. I believe the best program in team history, if I'm not mistaken. So, at what point in this season, whether it was the first game or that 3-game winning streak, or even later on, did you realize that, man, this Panther squad is for real and they're one of the best teams in the conference?
I mean, I knew the second I stepped on this campus that this team was different, but I just think that obviously it's great to hear all of those stats, and you read in the articles, oh, like FIU this, FIU that, but we do have a narrow focus, and yeah, it's nice to hear, but we'll look at all of the pretty stuff at the end of our season, but right now we're just staying focused on each game. But yeah, we're excited, we're moving forward, so there's big things to come for this program for sure.
And I would say, and I want to know exactly, with this team, obviously the crowds here at the stadium have been really, really good to see. And really a lot of the games have been eventful to watch. Obviously part of that, I think it was a 5-game homestand, and every game was really, really impactful to watch. Talk a little about, the crowd and the atmosphere and all the fans that have kind of showed out to this program and really have embodied what you guys are trying to, encompass here this season.
Yeah, the fans are incredible. So shout out all the fans, because it really does make a difference whether we're home or away. Like, our fans are incredible. The crowd that we have is incredible. Yeah. I just think Miami as a soccer area is growing so much. So you can really just like feel the passion for the game from the students, from the community. Yeah, the fans are incredible.
I think it's news break time, Jake.
Yeah, much like the soccer team itself, we're flying by here, right? So let's take a second and get into a news break, if you will. Of course, a look at all things FIU athletics and just FIU in general. So Let's start off with beach volleyball. Head coach Terry Del Conte has announced the signing of assistant coach Kelly Raimon. This happened last week. She joins the Panthers following a 6-year career as a professional beach volleyball player overseas, and before that, a career in the WNBA as a player and coach, in which she was a 2-time champion with the Phoenix Mercury and Detroit Shock. According to Del Conte, Kelly is a great representation of what we embody here at FIU Beach. She knows how the game is played at an elite level and is a strong female role model. So, of course, best of luck to Kelly Raimon with the brand new position at FIU as an assistant coach. So, moving on to FIU women's cross country and track, where they recently had one of the more impressive performances in program history by junior Valerie Lastra. In her first ever meet with the Panthers, she placed 5th at the Florida State Invitational with a time of 17 minutes and 30 seconds, which is the fastest time in FIU, or the second fastest time in FIU history. Her performance earned her the award of Conference USA Athlete of the Week and helped secure a 3rd place finish out of the 35 different colleges who entered the Florida State Invitational up in Tallahassee. So now the team will prepare for the Alabama Crimson Tide Classic on Friday, October the 13th, and then it's off to Conference USA tournaments. Now, finally, one of the most popular events that FIU is a part of is coming up soon, the North Miami Brew Fest on Saturday, November 18th from 2 to 6 p.m. This is the 11th annual festival of the one-day beer and food show, which directly benefits FIU's Chaplin School of Hospitality and Tourism Management. The event will take place at Nomi Village on 123rd Street and Northwest 7th Avenue, which is only mere minutes away from the FIU Biscayne Bay campus. There's going to be more than 30 breweries and over 50 unique beers in attendance, with the majority of them owned or operated by FIU alumni, of course, including Beat Brewery and the Sun Blazer Golden Ale. Tickets can now be bought online at go.fiu.com/FIU Nomi Brewfest. And that was your news break.
And obviously, you guys are off to a 7-3-2 start, 2-0 in the conference. Just kind of talk to us about the girls that we may not be, weren't very aware of that are making a huge impact. Obviously, we know what you're doing. We know Reagan Bridges is doing, Nicole Solis. Just talk to us about maybe the girls that we aren't very aware of that are kind of underrated in your eyes.
I mean, I think every single player on this team plays such a big role. But I think as far as player, I think Camille, she's our number 9 winger. She's a great player. Really drives our press and our attack. She gets a lot of crosses in the box. We have Noemi and Kim in the midfield, and we have a bunch of midfielders that play really heavy minutes, quality minutes, just depending on the type of game we're playing or the style of midfielder that we need. But I would say all of our midfielders that rotate in are quality midfielders. I think we have Kat Rapp. Just she can run for days and she's incredible to watch. Like, I'll be on the field and she's just like running around. I'm like, how is she not tired? Like, it's like the 90th minute. She's still making all these runs, but she's incredible. I think like I said, every single player, whether they step on the field for heavy minutes or not, it's what are you doing in practice? How are you driving the team with your energy? So I just think every single player deserves a shout out.
And I want to know a little more about the offense. I mean, I've been doing, nuggets, and I'm seeing that this is the most goals scored since like the 90s for the program. I mean, I think, we scored 13 goals in the first 2 games of the year, but talk about the offense. I mean, really, Noemi, Nicole, and Kim, who really have kind of shined with the goal scoring and really have taken this offense to really, top 30 and top 20 in the nation.
Yeah, I just think we've really flipped a switch. We're hungry for those goals. We're in the results phase of our program. There's the building phase where we're in the phase right now in our development as a program where all right, we've prepared for this. Let's put our hard work that we've been doing in silence. Let's step into that light and let's show the country, the conference, who we are and what we're going to be doing now and then what to expect from us moving forward. I think the fact that we have so many different goal scorers just shows how hungry every single player is to make FIU the best that it can possibly be.
And okay, so upcoming for the team tomorrow is a matchup at home against the Liberty Flames. I believe it what is it, a green out? I think that's the event name. I guess wear green and whatnot. So what have you and the team seen from the Flame squad in preparation for the meeting? Like what are some players? What are some tactics that you've noticed that you got to watch out for?
I mean, they're a good team. They just they had like one of the longest win streaks in NCAA up until recently. So, I mean, it's gonna be a great game. Obviously, green out for mental health awareness is gonna be good as well for both sides, showing support for that. But I just think it's gonna be a fight. I think both teams are gonna need to put their best foot forward, like have their best performances on display, because they're a quality side, but we're a quality side as well. So I just think if we all play to the maximum of our ability and they all play to the maximum of their ability, it's gonna be a great game. So I'm excited for it.
I know we saw men's soccer wear a different jersey for, I believe it was Cancer Awareness Month. Are you guys wearing something similar?
I think we're just gonna be doing like green shoelaces, green ribbon in our hair, just like cute girly stuff. But I don't think we get green jerseys.
All right, and I do want to ask you about men's soccer. Obviously, we see you guys a lot at the game, just showing that support for not only the other soccer teams, but all the other programs here. Then obviously them showing support to you. How much does that mean to you guys, and just kind of showing that support to the school?
Yeah, I mean, I think we try and make it out to as many games as we can because, I mean, we're all athletes. We're all in this together. We represent the same school. So as far as I love it when other athletes come to our games, and we love to go to other athletes' games because it really does mean a lot. Because we all know how hard we each work to be the best that we can be at our sport.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially this weekend for both of you guys. I mean, Liberty squad is a great team. Men's soccer plays SMU, so this is a huge soccer weekend here at FIU.
Yes.
But I want to know, Anna, let's talk the ceiling for this club. It feels like there's so much that this team can do. I think there's 5 or 6 games left in the season before the conference tournament. Just talk about the confidence for this team and seeing you guys can go really far and make some noise in a place that really this program hasn't really done in the past 6-7 years with this group.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, just going one game at a time. Obviously, we have our long-term team goals, but I think taking each game one at a time, focusing on it, and then learning from it, moving on to the next. I think that's just continuing our quality and confidence as we just go into these last 5 games, because as we hit this last stretch, we're obviously, like we've talked about, we have a lot of goal scorers, we have a lot of confidence. Mentally, we're hungry for it. So I just think continuing to build into these last games, which Liberty's ranked highly in our conference, so is New Mexico State. So have really high quality games coming up. So just continuing to go into those games flying and get ready for postseason.
Alrighty then, let's get into some of the questions that I know people really want to know, starting with who is the funniest player on the team?
Oh, wow. I think that Braylon is hilarious. I think Camille is hilarious.
Would you nominate yourself or no?
I of course nominate myself, but I don't know if I just have like dumb humor, so it's just I laugh at my own jokes.
Your next one. Who's getting the aux cord on the team?
Ooh, I think Reagan. We'll give Reagan the aux.
What's her playlist looking like?
Honestly, actually, I'm gonna make a change here. I'm gonna give Kiki the aux because she does our aux for practices, and hers are really good. Because our coach tries to do the aux in practice, so I'm like, no.
What's he playing? What's Coach Garber playing?
He likes the Brazilian heavy beat music, and I'm like, okay, I don't like it anymore, but no, he's got a good playlist. But I think Kiki Dominique is the best playlist. A lot of Spanish. It's just a good mix, I think. No country though, but
How's
I
your
love the
Spanish?
country. Yeah, but that's just my North Carolina roots coming through with the country music.
How's your Spanish here now that you're in Miami?
So bad. And the thing is, guys, when I got here in January, I was like, I'm gonna learn Spanish. I'm gonna listen to podcasts. No, I have no idea any Spanish.
And I need to ask you, your last name Rockett gives you a lot of nickname opportunities. I think we could say. What kind of nicknames do your teammates give you throughout the years?
I think Rocket is just everyone knows me by that, but Rocky, Rock, that's what we're working with.
And then
Because
finally,
Rock is just quicker to say on the field.
right? Yeah. I do want to ask you, we ask this to every athlete we bring on. So who do you think is the next women's soccer player we should bring onto this podcast?
Oh, let me think. I know they all want to do it, so let me.
Oh, okay.
But you got some
Wow! Holy crap!
fans. I think Kiki Reagan would be good. I should nominate someone who's shy.
Oh,
Jonny, take notes.
Yeah. Do Camille, Fada, Delinda, Nicole.
Okay.
Honestly, anyone. We have good people. So
Yeah.
Perfect.
So we just got to know what's the go-to hangout spot and go-to place to eat on campus at MMC.
tropical smoothie.
It's
At
close,
least
it's
for the
close to
soccer
the
girls,
field.
we always go there.
You're not
it's
lying.
right there too.
It's
Yeah.
right there. It's so easy. We'll just from practice, trot, back to treatment, film. So it's easy.
All right. Well, what about the coolest place you've been to in Miami outside of campus?
I'm a big fan of Key Biscayne and Hobby Beach because it's more just calm. Obviously, South Beach is fun, but it's just so calm. You just go park your car and just chill. So that's my favorite place, Hobby Beach on Key Biscayne.
Jonny, you got anything else?
I mean, no, I'm just obviously awesome episode, and I think it's the perfect time just for how this program's doing, and the best is yet to come. It feels like this is just the start. We got so many games left, and really conference tournament and hopefully NCAA tournament coming soon.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it's exciting times for FIU women's soccer for sure. For sure, I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Yeah. So Anna, as we always do, I'm going to give you the mic to yourself. Anything you want to tell to the fans, the alumni, other players as the season progresses? Speak now.
Awesome. All right. Well, Paws up, baby. We got a home game Saturday, so be there. Paws up. Thank you for having me.
And that is where we're going to end it. Anna, thank you so much for joining us. From Jonny, from Jake, myself, we'll see you guys all next week. And as always, Paws up.
Oh,
all right. We are back. Paws Up podcast. That was a great interview with Anna Rockett. Very fun to have on. But, we got to talk a little more. We got to talk about not only football, we'll get into some soccer as well. What's coming up for not only men's, but women's soccer as well. Jake, I know you did the post-game show, but just kind of touch up on, kind of the final points on this game against New Mexico State. And I didn't listen to your full post-game show, but I think definitely the second half of the game is what really we need to touch up on here. Just overall, not the greatest play by no side of the ball. You kind of see a lot of these guys getting very fatigued on the defensive end. Obviously, the offense, a lot of 3 and out. You had opportunities to score. Q1 goes back-to-back drives, throwing an interception. Just really poor play towards the end, and especially there, kind of ends on a sour note with Q1 going down with, I don't know if you agree with me, it looked either like a shoulder injury or a concussion. It was one of the two, and obviously, we got to get the video of Coach Max soon because I'm going to ask him this tomorrow. Him getting absolutely pissed on the sideline.
I've never seen him that mad before. That was
have you seen the video?
Crazy.
Have you seen the DraftKings video?
Yes, I did, and it was funny because I don't think we've ever seen. It's been a while since we've seen something FIU related take off like that on social media.
I need to find it.
Units, right? It was funny, Kevin. I thought having a soccer-based episode was the perfect getaway from what we saw from football yesterday. Obviously we needed to talk about soccer, and I did want to clarify. I had mentioned to Anna Rockett and to you guys that the Liberty game was tomorrow. It is actually on Saturday. It is on Saturday at, I believe, 6:30 p.m. If I'm not mistaken. Okay, 6 o'clock. It is at 6 o'clock. That's a unique camera perspective.
I like this a lot more, actually.
Yeah. So 6 o'clock at the FIU soccer stadium. It's green out, as Anna mentioned. Support for mental health awareness. They'll be wearing green accessories here and there. But yeah, Panthers versus the Flames on Saturday, October 7th at 6 p.m.
Yeah. So anything else you want to? Well, let me play this video first. This is amazing.
Yes, go for
Look,
it.
look at that.
Me going to bed thinking tomorrow is Friday, but it's only Thursday. No joke, that just happened to me. That happened to me.
Look at that. Like I've never seen Coach Mac like,
Crazy.
and obviously I don't know exactly what the situation was, but what we think, and I'm gonna put a big screen.
I feel like he was genuinely upset because they called targeting on that hit to Jenkins, right? However, they reviewed it and they determined that it was not targeting because the defender did not hit Jenkins with his helmet. It wasn't a helmet-to-helmet hit. He hit more with his shoulder. I mean, it was still a rough play because Jenkins was sliding.
And especially 50 seconds left, you don't do that. And
it
was
very. So he was pissed that they didn't give him the 15 yards and that they just sort of brushed off that hit, basically.
But we do need to touch up on this second half of the game. Keywan sacked 4 times throughout the entirety of the game. Hayden Carlson comes in basically in garbage time. He also has himself 1 sack. He sacked once. Aside from that, just really a tough second half, Jake. And I do want to ask, just were you a fan of the play calling? Just what do you think?
Funny enough, there were a few drives in the second half where I thought, the play calling wasn't that bad. There was that one play, it was that short drive where it was 3 straight relatively deep double-digit passes by Jenkins. And I thought, wow, FIU's kind of killing it right now. Maybe they can get something going. And of course, it ended with that crazy tipped interception by New Mexico State in the end zone, which was just a very unfortunate way. But for the most part, yeah. The play calling was not great, but I think a lot of that has to do with Jenkins having no time to process what was going on down the field because the offensive line was not doing him any favors. Pocket was collapsing quickly. It was either throw the ball away, throw it with a chance for it to be turned over, or run for as much as Jenkins could, which usually was not a whole lot there in the second half, man. I just love that we have this clip just going on in the background. It's sort of insinuating all the negatives we're talking about FIU right now.
That was just like inside. That's what I felt throughout this game, especially towards the end when just it felt like they had something going with Keywan, and it's just like, come on.
And I was proud with how FIU looked in that first half. It looked like a very even game of football. We thought it was going to come down to the wire, like that the Dolphins-Chargers game, for example. We thought it was going to be a game like that, high scoring. Both offenses were just going to start to click, and it really didn't turn out that way, right? FIU's offense once again regressed in the second half. They did not adjust as you would have liked to have seen them do. We saw it against Liberty, we saw it against UConn, against Maine, and then against La Tech as well, and then once again it reared its ugly head here against the Aggies.
Yeah, just a tough game overall. We won't look too much into UTEP, but that's a huge game. Not only just because it's UTEP and they're a 1-5 team, but this is the thing. ESPN2 game. You're pulling out Lamborghinis. You're going to wear the jerseys. Look, if you lose this game, holy, and you could censor me all you want, they are going to get destroyed on social media if they lose that game to a 1-5 team that honestly they shouldn't have a win.
No, absolutely. UTEP has without a doubt, I think, say what you will about FIU, but I think UTEP on both offense and defense has been absolutely abysmal. Not just in conference play, but also against out of conference opponents as well, man. UTEP has had a very rough season. It's been a few seasons now where the Miners are still trying to figure it out. And
just going back to my professionalness or professional.
Thanks, Kevin. But
I was gonna say they were expected to be a better team. They have a pretty good quarterback for the most part. They have a pretty good team. That's the thing. And we'll talk to Coach Mack. That we're filming this. We're live on Thursday. We'll talk to him tomorrow, and we'll get all the answers we need because it's not only that we don't even know who's starting at quarterback. We don't know if Keywan's in concussion protocol. Because I don't know if you noticed this, Jake. When he was getting off the field, they were kind of like holding his back. I don't know if you noticed, just the girl next to him was kind of tugging on the jersey to make sure he kind of didn't, get dizzy or anything. And he just walked on. The good thing is he walked off on his own power. He wasn't holding his shoulder. So my thing is he either took a big blow or he took, enough of a hit to go into concussion protocol there. But I do want to touch up on CJ Christian. Man, this guy keeps balling out. There's another way to say it. Another interception for him. You also got to look at Donovan Manuel. Didn't put up too many the huge total tackle numbers. Still, he was there, and he was the first one making most tackles. Deverick Daniel made a nasty tackle right at the start of the game. The safety dropped in. I don't know if you noticed that. Pavia, it was Pavia. He tried to make that scramble, and he lost a couple of yards there. I think 3 or 4 yards. Deverick Daniel was there. He dropped in, and man, that was nice. The defense obviously looked really good in my opinion until the end of the game where you're fatigued. What else can you do at that point? And I think this last one we'll touch up on FIU football. They're 0-3 in conference play. That is not what you want. Obviously, the goal is to get 6 wins.
Yeah.
But perform against your conference, especially a team like New Mexico State, which, correct me if I'm wrong here, Jake, they have beat for the past 2 seasons, and they have manhandled them.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a rough game, plain and simple. And what makes it more rough is that we had talked about the importance of FIU playing their best football, specifically in the month of October, because that game, along with pretty much every other game that FIU will play this month, starting with UTEP, then Sam Houston, then Jacksonville State, they're winnable, right? They're the most winnable games FIU is going to play for the rest of the season because it doesn't get any easier in November, right? And they absolutely had a shot to win that game, right? But at the same time, you could say that FIU, of course, got lucky with that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty at the end of the first half, which got them their second touchdown of the day. But you can also say New Mexico State got a little lucky with that one fumble, stripped fumble by FIU's defense that didn't count because the ref blew the whistle a bit too early. So it's one of those woulda, coulda, shoulda games. But at the end of the day, FIU, I think, really only has themselves to blame for that loss. And they need to figure things out quickly. And again, we don't know if it's going to be Keywan. Maybe it could be Hayden Carlson because that's who.
I think they just put him in there to get a quarterback in there. I
see what he can do in case.
Remember, they put Grayson in there for the Liberty game. I think they just put Carlson to get him a rep or two. Now,
but they're gonna need to think of who they want as QB2 in case it's confirmed that Jenkins can't go for this UTEP game. And of course, we want him to go because we want to see him improve. He is a true freshman that has shown some highlights here and there of what he's really capable of as a dual threat quarterback. But man, they need to figure out their QB2 situation instantly. Do they want to go back to Grayson, who of course had that infamously not great bad game against Louisiana Tech, or they want to see what the rest of their quarterback depth room looks like?
I would like to see Hayden though, because he had a really good game against Middle last season. Right at the final game of the year, most passing touchdowns, like he tied that record or something, but he had 4 interceptions. So it's, anyways, I do want to touch up on this weekend. Men's and women's soccer playing huge games. I know you're not as locked in on it, but SMU going up against the men's soccer team, the number 2 team in the nation, coming over to FIU's backyard, facing, I believe right now, the number 25 ranked Panthers. So that's a huge game. Eduardo Mustre has been really good for the Panthers. He, I believe, won the award for Player of the Week. They've been really good. Kyle Russell on the squad, they have been balling out. I know they had a really tough stretch a couple of weeks ago or last week. And aside from that, really, women's soccer playing a really good brand of soccer. I mean, we just talked to Anna Rockett. Obviously, she's very high, and I really do agree with her that they've been really freaking good. And we'll get more of the girls on the podcast. Now we know they're big fans. I was not aware of that. That was pretty cool to hear. And aside from that, just got to hope that they could keep it going.
Yeah, funny enough, that's such a great benefit of having these football games on the Wednesday. The weekends are just suited for pretty much every other sport going on campus. Of course, men's and women's soccer. We saw that the men's team is ranked once again 25th of the country, knocking off the Blazers as well. So if they can really get hot here during conference play, not only are they going to find themselves with a much higher ranking in the top 25, but they can also find themselves with home field advantage during the upcoming AAC tournament, and maybe even something brewing in the NCAAs. But and of course, as far as women's soccer goes, this is kind of uncharted territory for how successful they're doing this season. It's something we haven't seen in years. So of course, they're still in Conference USA. If they can keep the momentum going, they'll of course secure themselves a spot in the CUSA tournament. And then who knows, maybe they will find some magic and get into the NCAA tournament as well. So you could have both soccer teams competing not just in their respective conference tourneys, but also in the NCAA. And that's something to be excited for. And we always joke, is this a soccer school? Well, man, it's starting to look like it, Kevin. I don't know what to tell you.
It is. It 100% is right now. 2 teams one that is going to be ranked soon, hopefully. I hope they get ranked at some point. Mm-hmm. Then the other one that is ranked consistently. I mean, football was getting there, but it looks like soccer kind of took over there. And obviously, for all our content when it comes to men's and women's soccer, go to the Paws Up page where you'll see all of Jake's recaps, men's soccer articles, and we're trying to put up as much content out there to produce.
Yeah, the content
we've been slacking, but
we've been slacking, but give us a break, man. Of course, Kevin with Marlins coverage, unfortunately, finally coming to an end. But man, you were killing it with the Fish on First team, just pumping out articles and interviews with players and people all around. I still love that Billy Gill article, just bringing it back to the OG days of the podcast. And then not to mention myself, of course, Dolphins and Florida.
We'll see Billy. We'll see Billy on Wednesday.
We will. Yes, we will see.
He will be on our prediction video. Mark my words.
Mark. All right, you heard it there first. Kevin Bro with Billy Gill.
He's our guy. He loves what we do. He's always a supporter.
But trust us.
I don't know if you saw this yesterday. They were on the Le Batard show, and they were all doing like a binge watch of the Marlins game, but they all started watching the FIU game, and they were binge watching that instead after. So that was super cool to see. Billy was there. He was like,
that was super cool.
You know.
And you know what? It's Vice Night. Like you said, Vice Night will bring in viewers. It should bring in butts into the stadiums. Of course, FIU. We talked with Scott Carr and Kenneth Jessel. This has been a big game that wanted people to circle on their calendars for a very, very long time. ESPN2 coverage as well, nationally televised game. And but going back to our content on the Paws Up page. I'm sorry, Kevin?
The whole month of October is nationally televised for FIU.
Yes, but I feel like this game especially can get
this one's the big one. This is the big one, yeah.
And you're going up against a team that is one of the worst offensive and defensive teams ranked-wise in CUSA. I mean, FIU, for all the glamour and the pastel pink and blue, I feel like regardless of who you put at quarterback for FIU, they should find a way to beat UTEP.
They should.
And I think if it's not lights out, it's just not worth it.
Lights out! Lights out!
Say happy Mike is very different from angry Mike. I gotta say, Kevin.
Man, why didn't we put this during Anna Rockett?
That would have been funny, but I feel like it makes more sense in the context of football, right? But,
yeah.
The Paws Up page is only going to get bigger with our coverage. Obviously, a recap of FIU's loss to Mexico State will be out soon, and then of course some soccer recaps here and there. And yeah, man, we got some great stuff planned. And of course, next week we're going to try to keep the soccer train going for the podcast. Maybe shifting gears to men's soccer. That should be an exciting. If you're a soccer fan, should be an exciting back-to-back couple of episodes for you on the podcast. So, Kevin, what do you say? Vice Night? Are we going to be dressing up in the suits, like in the white suits, like in the show Miami Vice, with the handlebar mustaches and the aviators? What do you say?
We'll see what Scott Carr wears, and then we'll adjust.
There should be some fire trailers for that week, I would think. Yes.
And fire entrance. I mean, we're hearing the Lambos are going to be on the field during the game.
Yeah,
that'd be cool if T1 just hops in one. And,
T1 hops in a Lambo.
Anyone hops into one. That'll still be very cool. But yeah, I think we've kind of covered everything.
Which car is your favorite from that list? You have the two Lamborghinis and then that McLaren.
I don't know. I haven't seen the cars actually. I know the one they used in the video. I saw that one in person.
Well, you saw one of them in First Night, right? It was the blue
First
Lamborghini.
Night. Yeah, that one was really cool. I haven't seen the other two, but we'll see how they dude. You know what would be very cool. And obviously they can't do this because the field, you don't want to mess it up, but you bring out the Lamborghini first and the players run out behind it.
That would be so sick, but unless you have like some sort of crazy off-road tires on a hypercar, I don't think that's happening.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You would need to like put something on the field where they could just like the car could kind of just run out. I don't know. They'll find a way.
They'll find a way. I mean,
now I heard that for the Panther Walk, the Lambo is going to be there.
Yes, now that's going to be sick. All the players and cheerleaders and Rory is Rory going to be driving the Lambo? That's what I want.
That'll be wild.
Can his head even fit inside a Lamborghini?
That'll be cool.
I don't know. It should be a fun time. I mean, if you're a fan of cool cars, and of course, if you're a fan of the Vice aesthetic, we'll give you a little sneak peek right now. There's the Vice logo.
We didn't use it for Anna. Oh no.
It's okay. It's okay. Listen, there you go. So there's the Vice brand we'll be rocking next week. And
I think we're good to go, right?
Yes, sir.
Obviously, we'll do our preview show. That always drops before the game. and we'll have it with Jonathan Mayer, Jake Gibson, and myself. We don't know who we're trying to bring on a soccer guest, a men's soccer guest next.
Yes.
I do like this soccer trend we're going on for the next couple of weeks. And
of course, when basketball goes down, we have to get a basketball trend going, and we have some guests lined up for that too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Mr. Jeremy Ballard on the show. He's the one coach we're missing, so we have to bring him on. And
right.
I know
maybe even Burke Swiley herself as well. Get the men's and women's soccer teams in there. Of course, Heath Glick, big basketball personality who has shown interest in being on the show as well. We'll have to get him down, and our newest member of the Paws Up page as well, Alex Korchik. Yes, sir. So some exciting times ahead for soccer and basketball, and of course, we'll continue with the football coverage.
So from Jake, from Jonny, who's not here right now, from myself, Anna, who was on the show. Man, who am I missing? All FIU football. Coach Matt getting mad. We'll see you guys all in 1 week for the FIU Vice Night preview. Peace out, and as always, pause the hell up.